Whoa. Well, hello there, friends and family. So good to see you again today. Hey, we missed you yesterday. We surely did. What's today? I don't know. Does it really matter? It's Thursday in July. It's either the 12th, 13th. I'm pretty sure of that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You caught me out here munching on some blueberries, something I do many times a day. Me and the birds too, and sometimes the kitty crew. But hey, I'm so glad you stopped by. So we can do a little walkabout if you'd like, starting here with the blueberries and then go through the garden beds and show you where we are. This, the second week of July 2023. What do you say? You want to come along and walk with me in Mr. Tom's gardens and neighborhood? Okay? Well, here we are, as you can see, by the blueberries. So I wasn't telling you no lie. We actually were picking handfuls and eating them when all of y'all showed up. And if you noticed, yeah, it's a little bit dark today. Yeah, it's a little bit afternoon. I think it's around 1. And it's highly overcast. And we've had a little bit of rain today. Not a whole lot, just a little. Yeah, depending on which rain gauge you want to believe. The front one in the front bed, south side garden bed, it said 4/10. The one up, the brand new one at the clothesline pole planting, said 6/10. Yeah. So hey, let's average it and say we got a ½ inch. What do you say? Hey, let's enjoy some more blueberries. What do you say? Yep. They're tasty. Woo! I wish all of y'all could have a handful too. But as you can see, they're loaded up. Not as much as they were, but quite a few. On each and every bush. We've been picking, we got them put up in the freezer, you know, for a winter day later on. And the birds have been enjoying them, the mockingbirds, the cardinals, and the blue jays. Yeah. So we've been quite happy with our blueberries this season. We really didn't think we'd get a bigger crop as we did. But they fooled us, and they came back with a vengeance after the Arctic blast. Y'all remember that? That was something, wasn't it? Yeah, and you can see everything's still a little bit damp because it hadn't been long since it rained. And we're over here. Now we're over here at the south side garden bed. And I already emptied the rain gauge. But we threw out some seed the last couple of days. It was old, so we figured we'd give it in the ground and see what came of it. Look right down here. Here's some old okra seed we threw in. And it looks like some of it's came up. So we'll have a little line of okra right here by the south side driveway garden bed. Yeah, our little squash, that's acorn squash plants. Starting to do fine. Here's some more okra we just stuck in randomly. Yeah, look at our grape tomato. It's doing really well. And I think we have our first grape tomato to show you. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, you found it right there. See it right here? Yep, very first one. But there'll be many more by the looks of it. No, there's 2 more coming on right there. So I think I'll have more grape tomatoes than what I can probably eat. Similar to the situation with the blueberries. And of course the collards are doing good. We had some wind come through last night when a storm front came through. Didn't get much rain. A few droplets. But we got some wind. And it sort of laid over my collard. So he's got a crutch on it right there. See? Split bamboo and a wire tie. Keeping them held up. He'll be fine. Yeah, the other ones did just fine. And look at how big they are too. I mean, look at this. Here's my hand. Here's a leaf. Yep, the leaf covers up my hand. And that's not even the biggest leaf. The cherry tomato, the husky red. Well, I don't see any tomatoes actually. I do see some blossoms. Some down there. Some more right there. Nope, I lied to you. Right there's a tomato. You see it? Woo! Our very first cherry tomato. I'm really looking forward to that first cherry tomato. And I'm probably thinking many more to come as well. These two volunteer cucumbers, they're, you know, sort of like night and day. If you start looking at them, this one right here, oh, look at it right there. Look at that. I'm thinking, now, these may have been a hybrid. And they may not, you know, if you pull up volunteer and replant, you never know what you'll get. Are you going to get something like what you bought and ate? Or are you going to get one of the parents that they crossed to make the hybrid? Who knows? But that looks almost like a pickling cucumber. It's got some hefty spines on it, and I'll say for that, they're like stickers. Oh, and we got another one over here. Now this plant right here, that's basically all it's got. One cucumber. You come over to this one, and it's got this one, it's got another one there, 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 and another one right up there. So it's like, this is the female, and this pretty much became a male. Yeah, you know, if you got to assign a gender to them, just saying, per its characteristics. This one here is having all the cucumbers. That one over there is being the pollinator and the daddy. Well, other than the fact that it had one cucumber. And right here we put in some more old okra seed that decided to come up. Amazed me. Here was some old cucumber seed. Actually a Boston pickling cucumber that, whew, I had those seeds from all the way back in 2019. One came up, and I put like 5 or 6 in there. Only one made it, but that's all I needed. One right here to fill up this space that was a little bit blank. The beans, they're doing fine. Pretty much all of them are climbing up their poles now, as you can see. Some of them are getting all the way on up here. Yeah, chest high. And the rest aren't far behind. More collards down here looking fine. This little small bean planting, all of them are climbing up their poles too. Doing what they're supposed to do. Now, our yellow straight neck squash, it's struggled up here. It has plenty of flowers. It'll have some little baby squashes, but they never seem to take. And I mean, its new foliage looks great, but then as it ages, it looks terrible. I'm not sure what's with it, but I'm thinking it's probably some type of, you know, virus, if I had to guess. Some kind of disease, who knows. Yep, you can kill it back, which I have, you know, with hydrogen peroxide and water. But it keeps reoccurring, as is the case with most diseases. You either treat and repeat, or you just let the disease and virus and fungal, whatever it is, overcome the plant and die, and pull it up and start over again. And these collards down here, whew, they're all doing great. I can't believe it. You know, normally collards, being part of the brassica family, you know, like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, will bolt and go to seed. In fact, if you remember, we had some plants down at the western end of this bed that did exactly that. 3 of them went to seed. 3 did not. And then all of these that were in a 6-pack that I bought back in the first week of March that I finally set out after I got back from the hospital. You know, there in May. They've never bolted. That is extremely strange considering we've been in the mid to high 90s. So, hey, if you could get seed off them, man, these would be something to try to propagate into the future. But these are the Bonnie's Choice collard greens. We bought them at Super Foods. And if I need some collards again, I'm going to buy them again. Because I've never had my collards just continue to grow and grow and grow and grow throughout the year without going to seed. And of course our kale that we popped in a couple of containers as we did that collard right there, just to show people you can grow them in a pot too. There's one right there, curly kale, looking fine. Here's another one right here, looking just as fine, if not finer, a little bit larger. And then we got our collard over in that pot. And I'm thinking about putting some more in pots later on today. Who knows? I love planting on an overcast day. Hey, it doesn't stress you out. You aren't out there sweating and about to faint from the searing heat and blazing sun. Ooh, look at those little water droplets right there. I think they're packed with nitrogen, oxygen, trace minerals, all kinds of stuff. If you look up the benefits of rain to your plants over just watering with water, even rain catchment water, yeah, you'll see why after every rain everything just gets all the more greener, perks up, and seems so happy. It's got a little bit more to do than just with the water and moisture too. But yeah, if I just had a patio, I'd break out some pots. And I'd be growing too, because I did one time on a balcony in an apartment on the second floor in Rainbow City, Alabama, where I was for 2 years. Wasn't going to be there long enough to worry about a house. And so it was. That was before I came here. Our garlic chives in the pot, they're looking magnificent, of course. And they're going to stay in there. They've been in there for, oh Lord, what, 25 years? But we might have to get a new pot. That one there is about on its last legs. The older seed I planted in here, here again some okra. Not an area one came up, so I threw in some Waltham butternut. Here again, old seed, a couple days back, and of course it has yet to germinate either. Yeah, we'll give it a week to 10 days. If it don't, we'll stick something else in there and give it a try. But hey, let's go on down and check out the tire planters. What do you say? You ready to take a walk on a near rainy day? Let's do that. Yeah, I'm loving this overcast day. What I'm loving most, the sun is put away, and we're currently only 80 degrees. I'll take that any day. In fact, if I could have one wish, it would be that we stay between 75 and 85 year round. Oh, that'd be marvelous, don't you know? Yeah, but I'm sure there's drawbacks to that too. Like just forever bugs of all kinds, shapes, sizes, and names. Diseases of all shapes, sizes, and names. You know, but bacterial, fungal, microbe. You know what I'm saying. There's no such thing as optimum conditions without the pros and the cons that go with it. But hey, we're over here at the tire plant. Let's take a look at what's going on. Now, you can see a little bit of dried up, burnt right there. That's not from the sun. That was from me getting a little bit too wild with my spray. You know, my vinaigrette. Yeah, I was spraying it over here, sort of around the tire planters to help me with my weed whacking. And I did a little bit on here, not paying attention, but it'll be okay. Kale's looking fine, as you can see. Woo, and look at here. We got some okra coming on. Plenty of it. The first ones that were up, look at these. There's 5 of them looking really nice. This is our second planting. It's doing well too. And this was all old seed from Haas for the 2020 growing season too. It was another pack of that cowhorn okra. So yeah, more of it came up the first time than when I planted the first pack right here. But I think there's 11 plants in here. That'll be more than enough. And you saw I got some more coming up in the south side garden bed. So I'm thinking I'm going to have plenty of okra just for me. It don't take a lot. You know, if you think about how many okra pods does it take when you chop them up, throwing in some seasoned flour and cornmeal, drop them in that hot oil. I mean, you're probably talking 3 to 4 pods to go with a meal once you slice them up. Yeah, so it don't take much. And there's one thing that ain't great as a leftover, and that's fried okra. It just ain't. I mean, I can eat it, but I won't stand in line in the rain for it. No, it's so much better. Dice it up fresh, batter it, throw it in the oil, bring it out, let it drain, throw it beside whatever you're having. Woo! Now that's fine southern eating. And we're going to have plenty of okra, and it's doing just fine in this heat, as I knew it would. So if you're looking for something to plant in these hot and hazy days of summer, okra. Put it in now. You got plenty of time. Now, as you can see, I got everything picked up over here. And I came on through, did a spray, and then brought in the weed whacker and chopped it all down too. So, we're just going to have to make sure we stay on top of this. Here in the future, we'll be burning out this stump. I may do it this weekend if y'all come by and want to. Yeah, we could get it going. Maybe, grill some dogs on it. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Well, let me know. But we got to try to keep this clear for the remainder of the year and throughout the winter. And you can see where we put all the stuff from where we cleared off the south side timber fence. Put it up on that burn pile. The birds just love those things, and it don't bother me. We'll let it dry all down, and we'll set it off after the gardening season. It's all wound down and done. And we've actually been sticking some things in this old raised bed, though it really doesn't look it, and it's because of that we're not setting this off. Because if I burn this now, anything in here will be fried. The heat will be so intense, it'll burn it to the ground without even touching it. But yeah, we've planted some Swiss chard in here. There's 2 rows of it here that have yet to come up. Yep, we put a row of dill across here just today. So, yeah, I'm not thinking that's going to be up here for a while. And then over here we put in 2 rows of crimson giant radishes. Here again, an old seed, but I'm impressed. You see them right there? Yep, right there. That's a radish sprout. It surely is. If you've ever seen radish sprouts, once you've seen them once, you'll recognize them forever. Yeah, easily recognizable. And I'm seeing more come up in that row. Like right here's another one. Yep. It might not be a full row, and there's 2 rows of them there. Yep. I just don't know where the other one's at. But I think this was the crimson giant radishes. And over here, I put in a row of old lettuce seed. And I haven't yet seen any of it come up. It may not. If it don't, we got more seed. We'll just keep sticking it in. I don't throw away my old seed. I just keep planting it out to see if anything takes. Which I'm glad I did with the okra. I didn't have any, and now I probably got at least 20 all total okra plants. More than enough for me and probably enough to share. Onions, they're still hanging in there. And what did we do yesterday over here in the pepper and tomato patch? Well, you might notice there's some grass and leaf clippings laid down in between these tomato rows. Well, that's because we mowed the south side lawn, that over there, and started here on the back of this, and we got the very front lawn by the front porch. Yeah, and the reason the rest of this ain't covered is because we sort of had a little accident up there on the front lawn. We hit what's called an air root on that big mother oak tree out front and bent a blade. Yeah, so I've got some new blades coming. Won't be here till Saturday. But needless to say, learn from your mistakes, pay attention. Nothing was harmed or broken, just a lawnmower blade bent. But this is what we were doing. We were mowing grass, and as I do every year, I mulch out my garden plantings. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One, it covers the soil, therefore reducing the soil temperature. That sun is not beating right down on bare ground. That's number one. Number two, it conserves soil moisture. Yes, it does. It slows down evaporation. And number three, it starts to decompose. Now, I don't work it into the ground. I just lay it on top. The worms will come up from below. They'll start feasting on it. It'll decompose from bacteria and fungi and all that. And in turn, will feed the ground, which will feed the plants. Isn't it amazing what you can do with just some grass and leaf clippings too? And look at these tomato plants. These are the celebrity. And not only do they look fine, if you're downwind, you can sniff and smell how tomatoey they smell. Have you ever noticed that? You out in your tomato rows and get that smell? Oh, it's mighty fine. Yeah, we got one over there. One little one. You know, that's Bonnie's best tomato. We planted it after one of the celebrities died. Yeah, it's coming on strong. Doing fine. It's an indeterminate, where the celebrities are determinate plants. They'll grow so long and so high, so they say, but you know, they grow for me all year long, so I don't know about all that. Yeah, this was the Bonnie original, our favorite tomato. And yesterday, just to keep going on the theme of planting, we planted one of those squash we had that we couldn't find a home. We planted another and another from that 6-pack we had sitting over there in front of the carport. Yeah, so now 4 of them have been planted, because that was one of them that we planted several weeks ago. I think 4. And I just couldn't figure out where I wanted these, but I thought, hey, that's why I killed the weeds, because these can grow all over that old debris pile for now and give me some acorn squash if we're lucky. And then I told you we were going to plant along these runs of the soaker hose, and you can see right here all the little seedlings coming up. Now, do you know what kind of seedling these are? Yep, you know them. These are radishes. Yep, either some cherry bell or crimson giants. They're actually on both sides of that soaker hose. Yeah, so when I turn it on and it drips along here, the radishes will benefit from the water that's dripping on the hose as it transitions from this row right here over to this pepper row. And I did it on both of the row transitions. And of course, our Bonnie green bells are just doing champion. I mean, look at them. Oh yeah. Look at right here. And there's another one right down there. Yeah, they're just loaded up too. They really are. There's more here. Ooh, another one getting nice size down there. You see that? No, this one getting so heavy. Oh, it's starting to lean over. Yep. It's got two nice ones right there. It almost bent over the plant and broke it off too. That wouldn't have been nice, would it? This one's starting to lean as well. May have to do some more tying up, or maybe do a center support stake, which we can do. But why? Because we got bamboo. And I told you that bamboo was a useful and beneficial thing to have on your property. All you got to do is keep it in control and keep it in its place. And then it's happy, and you will be too. Oh, but let's look down here on this transition. I think I planted lettuce here. And I'm thinking maybe that lettuce was just a little bit too old. Who knows? Lettuce takes longer than radishes, so we'll give her time. Yep. Our lunchbox right here. These are the orange lunchbox. Oh yeah, look at those peppers down in there. Can you see that? They're nice. That one there is probably a 3-biter. And we got some more coming on over here. And another one right up there. In fact, I ate 4 of the red lunchbox peppers this morning on my first morning walkabout through the gardens today. That was my breakfast. Well, that and a cucumber. So I had 1 fresh cucumber and 4 peppers as I walked around early this morning. Because if you're growing something, you see, you can eat and feed yourself too. As fresh as it gets. Still covered with the morning dew. And here's another one of those squash plants right here. These are all acorns, and it's really happy. It's just loving being transplanted. And as I've told y'all 1,000 times, once these blossoms finish up and close, they're done. You just twist them off or snip them off, wash them. You can make you a little batter, drop them right in, throw them in some hot oil. Woo! You talking good eats. Or you can just put them in a salad as they are. They are so good for you. The pollen that's left behind is. You need to look this all up and see about the benefits of eating your veggie blossoms. Well, I ate that one too. I didn't even wash it. It's already washed from the rain. Our onion planting's doing well, and I think I saw something that I was telling you all about. You know, when I told you, you won't have onions forever by planting the root ends of your onions from your green onions or your bulb onions. Because onions are biennial. The first year, they produce the plant, which can be a bulb or a stalk, as in the case of these. And the second year, they're going to put up a seed stalk and produce seed. And here it is, right here in front of you. This onion is going to seed. Yes, it is. This will form a ball of onion seed that we can let dry should we wish to do that, and replant once they're dry, preferably in the fall. Or we can pull this, use it for whatever, in a salad, a soup, in our eggs, what have you. A meatloaf, a casserole. It'll all work just fine wherever you want some mild onion flavor. And we can bring the root end back out, stick her back in again. Yeah, it'll put up some onion leaves, but again, it's going to throw up that seed stock. Yes, it will. Because it's going to set seed, or try to, every time you stick it back in the ground. Now, if you remember, we cut off some more, and we stuck them right in here. And you'll see one right there, just starting to come up. And there's another one right there. And some aren't breaking through yet, but there's one right there, just in case you didn't believe the old man. And there's another one right there too. Oh, there's a little bitty one poking its head up through. That wasn't even here this morning. See, that's how exciting it can be. Oh, look at there. There's one too. Right under there. By just putting in some onion ends, you have something to look forward to. A little bit of excitement. And maybe a dreary day too. I mean, hey, what else can you do? You can do some weeding while we're all out here jaw-jacking, right? You know, I won't mind. Yeah, the onions are doing fine. I just thought, you know, I'd share with you, because I'm sure you've been told that, you know, once you do this, you'll have onions for the rest of your life. Well, not true. Eventually, they will go to seed, no matter what you do. And this squash is just looking amazing. I'm just so thrilled with it. There's another blossom that's finished up today. Yep. Not seeing any acorn squash on it yet. Oh, I told a fib. There's one right there with a flower on it too. Yep, right there. And another one down below. So they're coming on. We don't want to upset her too much. But she is looking fine. Woo! I'm pleased. And as you can see, my weed vinaigrette did just fine. The compost pole, I mean, we got all kinds of things coming up. We got onions right here, see? We got squash. We got cucumbers. Look right there. There's one. There's another. And you can see these are a little bit different. This was a volunteer too. But you don't see the black spines like the ones up front in the south side garden bed. But these have spines, more pronounced, like pickling cucumbers. Yeah, we'll see if it grows out of them. Now this one here, I don't think that one made it. Nope, it didn't. So we'll just break it off. But we ate it too. I don't lose much. But there's many cucumbers there. One there, one there, one there, one there, one there. These vines are really productive. We're just growing out of some seed that was thrown away from some cucumbers we ate sometime last year. And look at that acorn squash. Here again, another volunteer. It's just going everywhere. It's just having a party. And if you don't know about binding squash, yeah, it'll root along the vine. And then you'll have other clusters like this one, this one, this one. The main cluster right there. You see how that works? Well, if you don't, stop the video and ponder on it a bit. These volunteer tomatoes You can see all the blossoms starting to come. Right here. Right there. They've been slow. I've been a little worried. But now I see they too will have tomatoes of some type. I'm figuring there's two possibilities with these. One, these grew out of the seeds from tomatoes that we could have purchased from superfoods. Yeah, I mean, certain things I use tomatoes in, I de-seed. Yeah, and I take the core and the stem and the seeds and I come out here and throw it in the compost pile. Or these could have been from our own seeds, you know, where we threw tomatoes from our celebrity plants last year that were damaged by bugs or had blossom end rot or what have you. Yeah, could be. Oh, we also got a little bitty tiny acorn squash that is ripening up right here. I just leave it over here. Nothing bothers it. And if nothing continues to bother it, once it gets a little more orange, we'll bring it on inside and I'll fix up the tiniest acorn squash I've ever grown. But I'm sure it'll still be yummy. Would you like to see when I do? Yeah, I mean, for doing nothing to these tomatoes, except, yeah, on occasion I water them. I pick the hornworms off them. Oh, I saw a yellowhammer dive down on them a day or two ago, and he got a hornworm right off. He just swooped down, didn't even stop. He hit the branch, off he went with a big old hornworm in between his beaks. Yep. So that's another reason to, you know, feed your birds and keep them close. I've always known they like a little meat with their bird seed and their berries. I've seen the mockingbirds, the jays, and now a yellowhammer feasting on worms that would have been feasting on my tomatoes. And here is where we put those 4 old, lengthy, gangly, scraggly celebrities we had left. They were orphaned by me with no place to go, and I really didn't think they'd even live. So I dug a deep hole. I threw them there where we always lay down our food scraps, our leaf clippings, and our grass clippings. I watered them in. When I mow, as you can see, they've got the leaf and grass clippings all around too. And they're really looking nice. I would have never thought it, would have you? Now I do got a touch of disease right here. Yeah, and as soon as these rain showers get through, we'll hit it with some more hydrogen peroxide. And it'll go away till it comes back another day. Because remember, the hydrogen peroxide, it's a killer, not a preventative. You want to prevent, then you need to hit it with a copper fungicide or, daconil is another one. It's a synthetic. The copper fungicide is a organic daconil, which is a very good fungicide, but it is a synthetic. Non-organic certified, I believe is what they say. But overall, for no money expended and just a little effort, watering some days, and I did spray it at least once. The compost pile planting, it's quite diverse and has the potential to produce a lot of food. Well, I just have to wait and see. But you can see we got a lot of grass clippings. Yeah. When I was done yesterday, those were up about 4 foot high. The rains compressed them back down. Yeah, and over here, you'll notice a change as well. This whole area has been covered and mulched in with the clippings too. And when I finished it yesterday, it was up at least 6 to 8 inches. That rain will start compacting it, but that's okay. It'll serve its purpose well. And I noticed once I got through yesterday, before the rain, the sun was beating down. Man, I was roasting. These plants were curled up, shriveling on the edges and burning alive, as you can see right here. That is sun scald damage, not a disease. Why it hits particular leaves, I don't know. But I know what it is because I was watching it happen yesterday. But once I threw on this here thick covering of grass and leaf clippings, you could immediately see the leaves start to straighten out as that soil temperature came down and the moisture that was rapidly evaporating right out of the ground ceased. And yeah, it's overcast right now and only 81. So they're not struggling today. They're not having to survive the blazing sun. And you can see, you know, where I was putting it, I got some on the plant too, but never fear, they'll be okay. But all around the pepper plants are done as well. But I want you to look down in here. This is a sweet banana pepper. I'm not going to count all the peppers, but there is a pile up in there. Yep. And there's been things eating it. Slugs and hoppers. Plenty of hoppers love the pepper plants too. That's grasshoppers. This one here, you can see it's had some fresh eating upon it. Something. I'm hoping the birds got it because I don't see it. But it looks to me like it was a grasshopper or some type of caterpillar too. It's a hungry one. Look what it's doing to those leaves. Now I'm hoping one of my feather friends doesn't swoop down and got that one. But I mean, look at all the peppers up under there. Have you ever seen anything like it in your life? And then of course, the burpless bush hybrid. There is 2 plants there. And they're just going everywhere. They're running right here. Heading down by the rain gauge, which I've already emptied too. As I told you, it showed 6/10, where the forward one in the south side bed showed 5. But these things are loaded up with cubes. Oh yes, there is. If we go deep inside the jungle, I think we'll find them. Oh, there's 3 right there. Oh, and there's another one. It looks like a zeppelin up in the air. There's 4. Those need to be picked today. Oh, there's another one right up in there. Excuse me. See? That one we got to get out. I don't want to even wait till later. So hold on, folks. Yep, we got her. Woo! And you can see right here. See those markings? Yeah, that's where a beetle, most likely a cucumber beetle, striped, has been eating on the cucumber, on the peel. Well, he can have the peel. I can just get my peeler, peel them, and I'll never know the difference. But we gotta pick many more in here. I can see 3 there, 1 there. I'm sure if I get back up in here, there's way more. Oh, there's another one right there. You see him? Yeah, he's ready too. So that makes 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's only 2 plants in there. Now there's another one. You see them right up there? 7. And there's more, even smaller ones. Nope, way down there, there's 2 more. That's 8, 9. Yeah, well, you know what? We're going to be having cucumbers again. Every which way you know. Whew, but we're going to be hydrated. And getting our vitamin K, vitamin C, and other minerals and vitamins too. You should look up the benefits, health benefits that is, of eating cucumbers. I think you'll be amazed. I know I was years back when I did the same. But yeah, we got this all mulched out, conserving the moisture. And when we knelt in there, it broke off that growing tip. Yeah, never fear, it'll be okay. Yeah, it was just growing out into the grass. And as you can see, don't be worried about those yellow leaves up in there in the deep darkest reaches. That's because they're not getting no sun, and therefore they're not having any fun. But wherever one of those leaves is and it finally starts to shrivel and die, you need to clip it off. And you'll be amazed, another vine will grow from where the leaf once was. Yes, it will. If it's got ample water, sunshine, and nutrients too. Our poblano, it's still hanging in there. And we got a mighty fine one way down in there. So far, only one, with many more coming on. Yeah, I don't need a lot of hot peppers. And this is where we started our breakfast in the early morning hours of today. Was eating lunchbox peppers off of this little plant here. What'd I say? I had 4. They were almost totally red and ripe, and you need to get them off or it'll shut down your production of the pepper. You ever let one go till it totally ripens, that's it. Because you have to understand, the plant's purpose is to propagate its species. Yep, and once it accomplishes that goal, it's going to slow down or stop completely. So you got to keep a picking if you want to keep a getting. And definitely this is true too with cucumbers. If these ever start to turn yellow, your production will fall drastically. I have lived it and I've let it happen too. But the green beans are doing fine over here as well. They're growing to the sky. Some are about over my head now, or soon will be. I'm quite happy with the green beans. Some of these are mine, and some of these are the rattlesnake from Hoss Tools. I'll know mine when they start setting pods. It'll be easy to tell. But I'm really not interested, you know, whether they're all mine or not. I plant the beans to eat and to feed myself. They provide a plant-based protein. Yeah. And they're one of the cheapest and most readily available sources of protein that you can raise in a garden in your yard. Yeah. So yeah, old clothesline pole planting's full of food, especially cucumbers. Now this cucumber planting, where the kiddies got an experiment going, you know, they got the straight A heirlooms over here. They got the Bonnie Burpless Bush hybrid over here. Well, the straight 8 has yet to set a cucumber. There's not a one to be seen. But there's a million blossoms everywhere. And several times a day I search all over it, looking for a cucumber. but have yet to find one. Now, on the burpless bush, there's another one there too. And I traced it all the way down to the bottom. It's on the burpless bush. Here's another one there. Okay, there's another one there. But what I'm noticing, in comparison to what we just saw up at the clothesline pole planting, those are the Bonnie burpless bush hybrid too. There's 2 plants up there, just like there's 2 plants right down here. There's 1, there's 2. Yeah, oh, there's another cucumber right there. The production off of these 2 burpless bush hybrids isn't nothing in comparison to the 2 up there, but there's a difference. Now the difference isn't that they weren't watered the same or fed the same, fertilized. The difference is in total sunlight. The clothesline pole planting gets the morning sun as the sun comes up from the east. It gets the sun from as soon as it rises above the horizon till around 1 to 2 o'clock. Then it goes into the shade till around 4 o'clock. Where these right here, they get the morning sun as soon as it comes across and tops over those 2 largest pine trees. Yeah. And then it's in the sun till about 1 o'clock. So from about 9 to 1, basically 4 hours, this receives full sun. Where that over there receives 8 or more hours. So you're seeing the reason for more production there and less here. But it doesn't mean if you've got a shaded yard, you still can't grow you some food. It just won't be as much as if you could put it out in the full sun. And even now, the way this sun is, for whatever reason, you'd really plants suffer this time of year. As you've seen them, all wilt and burn. Yeah, unless you put shade cloth up or something, or water them a couple of times to get them through. Yeah, it ain't easy gardening through the height of summer. Not easy at all. And most don't even do it. They just give up and let her die and try again come fall or in the spring of the next year. But lastly, I can see the squirrels have been helping themselves in the bird feeder. Yeah, the bane of my furry friends and feather friends, the squirrels. Whew. Now I ate my first fig first thing this morning, but y'all weren't here yet. You'll just have to take my word for it. Yep, in fact I'll show you right where it was. It was right there. Oh, it was wonderful. As soon as I saw it, I couldn't wait for y'all to arrive. I had to get it before the birds got it. They beat me to more of them than I'd like to admit. But this year, as far as I know, I got the first one of the season to come. There's plenty more. I'm sure they'll beat me to some too. That's how it works. They get their share and they give me some too. But it looks like we're going to have a good year for the pigs. I'm highly surprised because I thought we lost it. That week-long Arctic blast definitely killed some of the tips back. As you can see, right in here. And there's Alice chilling under the shade of the oaks on the north side of our little cottage. That even with the big old father oak gone, still sits under the oaks. Just not as much as it once did. Yep, and you can see there's my big buddy, Spooky. Spooky, you chilling on the porch? Yeah, he's holding down, guarding the front door. Is that you, Speedy, over here by the oak, doing some cleanup? Where's Cleo and old Mr. Gray? Well, it was raining earlier, and then of course all the lawn mowing. The city's been mowing. All the neighbors been mowing. Mr. Gray don't like the mowing. None of the kitties do. So I'm sure he's held up somewhere under a hedgerow. Maybe over in the Davis's yard. Or under one of the cars. His favorite places. So there you have it, folks. That's the state of affairs here in my little piece of paradise. My gardening neighborhood in the deep south of Alabama. I hope you enjoyed walking around with me, looking at the plants and the veggies too. Maybe you learned something, or maybe it was just entertaining walking with the old man along the property. It don't take a lot, and I hope you will get out in your yard or park or what have you. Get those steps in. Do the best you can while you can. And always stay cool, stay hydrated. Make sure you're getting your minerals, vitamins. Oh, and all that too. Like always. Until I, the kitty crew, Cleo, Speedy, Spooky, old Mr. Gray. On a rare occasion, Heathcliff, and little Gracie inside too. See you on that next episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Take care, stay safe, and may you bless those in your lives as God has blessed you. Goodbye for now. Oh, there he is. Hey, Mr. Gray. What you doing there, little buddy? You all tuckered out in the heat. You are? Well, I was just checking on you, okay? Making sure you're doing fine. Okay? Well, I'll leave you alone and let you stay in the shade, okay? Don't get up on my account. Yep, well, there he is, laying beside his kennel, staying out of that blazing sun. Yeah, and there comes the queen sauntering along. Hey, Cleo.